Arts and Adventure Summits the airwaves. This is the Ogden Arts and Adventure Show. I'm your host, R. Brandon Long, along with
Todd Oberndorfer.
And we are your hosts for the greatest arts and adventure podcast in all the land, setting the bar low. Our guests are Camille Washington, Ogden City Arts Advisory Board, and Onstage Ogden. Camille, when someone asks you what you do for a living, what do you tell them?
I'm an arts administrator.
Arts administrator. Very good. Also, we have Michael Goodrick.
That's correct.
Michael or Mikey, president, actually chair, Ogden Trails Network, and engineer by day.
That is correct. Engineer by day, Trails chair by night.
Stand-up comedian on the weekends.
Yes.
Oh, we're going to see about that.
We don't know. And so the shindig is, Todd, who do you want to run with first, Camille or Mike? This is up to you today. Mike. Shindig is Friday.
Yeah, Shindig is Friday at Union Station.
Okay. All right. Now, you ready to go to Camille?
Oh, jeez.
Mike, it's been a pleasure.
Thanks for having me.
What's the shindig?
Okay, we'll dig just a little
right.
deeper.
There we go.
Yeah.
A little deeper. All right. Yeah. Inform us.
Okay, so the Shindig is our annual fundraiser because the Ogden Trails Network is a nonprofit, so we're an advisory committee to the city. So we don't have like allocated funds from the city to maintain the trails. So we put on a Shindig every year. It was every year, and then COVID happened. So we're trying to get back into it every year. And so it's our fundraiser to get funds so we can go out and do trails work, buy lumber, put up signs, totems, tools, just whatever we need to maintain the trails we have.
Okay. So how much does it cost to maintain a trail?
Oh, man. That varies greatly.
Okay.
Depending on the year of lumber costs and who you have out there helping you and where the trail is, if it's on private property or city or a lot of our trails run through government stuff. So it varies greatly on the location of the trail and how much work is needed.
Can you just say, yeah, but I'm with the city, and then start working on trails?
I wish it worked that way.
You can't.
I feel like you say I'm with the city, it just means it's going to take 3 times as long.
Is that the case? Like, is there red tape involved?
No, the city is actually pretty easy because we're part of the city, we're an integral piece. So working with the city is actually one of our easiest functions. It's when we have to go outside of the city to forward service. Working with the national government is one of the most difficult challenges we have.
And you get paid a lot of money to be the chair, right?
Oh, yeah, so much.
Okay. Same with Camille, actually.
It's so lucrative.
It's so lucrative, exactly.
And so that's why we're putting on a fundraiser on Friday,
Correct.
Shindig. Now, is this the first year it is combined with a film festival?
Yes, that is true. So typically in the past, the Shindig's been held at the front, and it's been just there, and people come and do a silent auction and raffles and stuff. But this year we moved to a new venue. So we have a film fest, and this year's running film is the theme.
Did Benny kick you out? Or what?
I was just going to say, are we reporting this first? Is there a rift? There's a rift. They kicked you out, didn't they?
No, we had some turnover on the board, and then things just fell through.
This is what happens.
This is what happens.
Yeah, it happens.
Okay.
So yeah, this year will be at the Union Station, and so the first time we've done a film fest. So we found this group that does an outdoor film every year, and they changed the theme. This year's trails running, so we're gonna put this on and see how it goes.
Apparently, I'm emceeing Friday, so if you would like to attend.
How long ago did you find out?
I got some notes today.
So that's more of a heads up than usual.
Yeah, well, believe it or not, the city sent over notes for the Ogden Mayor's Awards in the Arts today or yesterday, so it's about a 3-week notice, which is pretty good.
That's really good.
Yeah. So now if I screw up, that is totally all on me. Yeah.
You can take that.
Yeah. I'm going to recruit Alicia, I think, to help me.
Does she know that?
Not yet, but she might. She's out there listening. She pulled a face. Okay, Mike. So tell me about the film fest. How many films are we watching on Friday?
So it's one film,
film.
from beginning to end, and there's an intermission in the middle. We also do have some short local films that were also made here locally, and those play on like a loop, promoting some local athletes we have in town.
Well, I watched one last night. Were you there?
I was not there.
You were not there. Okay.
Is it playing
Upward.
Friday?
Is Upward playing Friday? So the film by Cassidy Eames, she was on the show last week, 2 weeks ago, about the record-breaking vertical challenge last October by Reed Woolsey. So that face shows me you're not sure that's playing.
Not sure about that one. No, Benny has been working the films and stuff, so
Okay.
I haven't been
Very cool.
really keen on that.
Okay, what's the cost to get in?
It's $20 to get in, and that gets you a slice of Lucky Slice pizza, and then also a drink. And then once you're in, night is yours.
Most people would pay $20 for a slice of Lucky Slice, and so the rest is just icing on the cake.
That's right, just a bonus.
It's just a bonus. And that money goes to help us build trails and maintain trails. So there's you, and then the other trails, nonprofit in town, Northern, was it Trails Foundation, Northern Utah.
Yep.
So how do you guys work together? How do you overlap? How do you keep our trails in shape?
Yeah, so Eric and TFNU do a great job maintaining all trails, right? So they don't necessarily have like a jurisdiction or a main focus, right? So they do stuff over on the other side of North Fork. They'll do activities up at Art Nord, right? And so they do help us though quite a bit on projects on Ogden City specific stuff, which is where our main focus is. So if we have a project that needs a lot of support or specialty tools or something, we go to lean on Eric because he's a lot bigger organization than us, so he has more leverage on manpower and tooling and stuff.
Okay, yeah, you guys are just Ogden City limits, basically.
Yeah, our focus is trails within Ogden City limits.
What's going on Birdsong right now?
Oh man, so much on Birdsong.
I saw a video. I'm like, what are they doing? Put in a bike track or?
Yeah, so on the Birdsong Trail on the other side that comes down to Rainbow Gardens, we'll still be there.
Okay.
But we're building an alternate trail on the backside to help alleviate some of the bike traffic on that trail.
Okay.
Because that trail is very narrow and steep, and so we get a lot of
conflict?
yeah, thank you. Conflict. Man, words are hard. So we get a lot of conflict between different trail users on that section because it is kind of difficult to manage.
Okay.
So we're building another trail section on the backside that should open next year.
Okay. How do you get, because Eric gets phone calls. Eric gets the call. He gets people that are upset about there was this, and do you get those? Because your position is a little different. Like you don't have a phone number that's public on a website somewhere, right?
Yeah, so we do get calls. They go to the Ogden City office, though.
Okay.
So by the time they get to us, they've been filtered down a couple levels.
Okay.
Eric's a lot more
Or
of a
they've been
frontline
transferred
worker.
3 times,
That's right.
which makes them happier each time they get transferred.
Exactly. So by the time they get to our attention, like it's either a really big issue or it's already been taken care of.
Okay. Okay.
Like I was going to compliment somebody, but it's been 2 hours that I've been on hold.
Okay, very good. All right, so what's your modality on the trails? Are you a runner, mountain biker? What are you doing on the trails?
Yeah, so my wife and I are typically biking is what our primary focus is. So we do we live right off of 36, and so we do a lot of stuff up on the BST up to Blue Ribbon and stuff around that area. And then we'll always venture down to past 12th Street, see what's going on over there. So that's what our primary mode is biking, and then obviously walking the dog and stuff too, but those are usually shorter loops around the house.
Is there a heat map available of the trails in Ogden, like the busiest trails and times and stuff?
Yeah, we do have trail data. So out on the trails that are 19, 20 counters that we have out there, and my wife and I go out and do a
They
lap.
just stand out there and count people watching.
That's right, little clickers. Yeah, people monitor like who goes in the grocery store, clicking. Yeah.
Only thing I trust. That is all I trust.
So we do have actually a lot of data out there on what trails are popular and what times, what time of day, what day of the week, and stuff like that. So we do have
So
a lot
if I
of
want to see the most amount of people, where should I go?
River
and what
Parkway
time?
for sure.
River Parkway.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
On a Saturday morning?
Yeah, absolutely. If you want to be run over on a trail, that's where you go.
Okay. Well, the next question obviously is the least amount of people.
So actually in that same area is a trail right behind the Botanical Gardens, up on the hill right there. There's a trail up there that's very lightly used that not a lot of people know about.
Let's change that.
Yeah.
It's
That hidden gem, let's make that as
so
visible as possible.
That is definitely
let's
one of
move
the
everyone
least
in
used
that
trails.
direction this Saturday.
That's right. Yeah.
We put up some detour signs.
Yeah.
That's
What's
good
the
to
name of
know,
that
though.
trail?
So currently it's called Stairway to Harrison.
I'd never heard that. Really?
Yeah, and it's right there.
Stairway to Heaven.
There's the
in
reason why.
parking lot, and it just goes right behind Botanical Gardens.
Okay.
I love that.
Okay. Yeah, that's worth checking out, actually. Okay. Very good. I think I'm out of questions, Mike. You're off the
Very
hook,
good.
man.
Thank you.
Todd, you got anything?
Okay, so here is a genuine question as far as your annual fundraisers go. Looking at data, looking at the money that's raised, I think we collectively all know enough about nonprofits that sometimes not. There's obviously certain groups withstanding that galas have a tendency to lose or break even, and that is just simply a fact. And so the shindig, is that not the case, or is it a morale? Is it tradition? What are your thoughts on annual fundraisers in general and the shindig in particular?
So that's a good question. So, like you said, typically fundraisers are.
That's a hard question.
That is a hard question. Yeah. Wow.
Let's honestly, my experience, especially the little bit of research that I've done, they have a tendency to lose. But it's something that certain members wouldn't cut, or they just don't for all the reasons,
Yeah.
So anyway, thank you. I apologize for interrupting.
Oh, no, you're good. So in the past, we've been very fortunate to have a strong community to come together and support us. So we have been profitable. We've also had very lucky community members to donate facilities, and like Rooster's a great person to donate stuff, right? So we've always been lucky to have great partnerships in town to
We have the
reduce
pillow
that
right there.
cost. Yeah, exactly. So we've always had good partners in town to help reduce the cost of putting on the event, and that helps us be more profitable.
Absolutely.
So in our case, it's worked out for us. Like, this is our biggest fundraiser. It's what keeps us alive, but I definitely know of other organizations where like, why would you even think about doing this?
This year is just going to be off the chart.
That's right, off the charge.
You're going to get a bump in that significant raise.
That's right.
Well, all of us in the trailer have been the chair of an advisory committee here in Ogden, which is crazy. Camille's the current chair, Ogden City
Yes.
Arts Advisory Committee. Todd was the previous chair, right? Did you hand it off to Camille, or was there someone in between?
No, Susan was
Susan.
it.
Susan was. That's right. Susan was.
Oh,
in
no.
I ran it
Jake.
into the ground. Susan picked
Brought
it
it
up
back
a little
up.
bit.
And then Jake, and then me.
We appreciate. Oh, and Jake. Yeah, and Jake.
yeah.
Yeah. It took two people to bring it back from the depths of Todd.
I had a good year. Thank you very much. That's really funny.
And then Mike with Ogden Trails. And so with the arts, we don't do fundraising.
No,
Yeah.
Not in
the
that
Arts
sense.
Advisory Committee.
Right,
No,
yeah.
We make recommendations.
Yeah. So where does our money come from?
The city budget,
The city budget.
which is taxpayer money.
Okay, Mike, you got to get on that.
Yeah, where do we sign up?
I don't know. I don't know. That happened way before our time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. But if there's a way to because it would be nice if there was some sort of. It doesn't even have to be a ton of money, right? But because I don't know how much your annual.
I mean, how much money could the arts really need?
No,
Or the trails.
not the trails, or not the arts. I'm talking.
Oh,
about
we're talking about the trails. Yeah, the trails needs a lot of money.
trails. But if it was some sort of, I wonder if there was a way to do, like a percentage of whatever tax that was, whatever for the trails, for parks and stuff like that, so that we have green space downtown and everything, and it's kept up, because that helps make a city. People want to visit and play and spend time outside when it's kept up and it's not run down and stuff. And so that's worth investing in as a community, I think. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, absolutely.
Arts and adventure completely overrated. We're fine.
Todd, make a call, would you?
It needs to go more into like vaping. We can somehow support that. I want to get into the stuff I'm really interested in.
Todd just vapes all the time.
I don't have time for these trails or the arts.
Well, you know what they call Ogden?
Uh-oh.
Vape City.
No.
No, what were you gonna say, Josh?
Something real close to that.
Okay, Mike. Hey, last pitch for everyone to come out this Friday. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. Come out and support us Friday night, Union Station. $20 to get in. We would love to see you guys out there.
Okay, and Mike, are you giving a speech, or what are you doing? Is that all me?
It's all you, man.
Okay,
You got this.
all right.
Plus, you got to come see Union Station 1.0 while we can.
1.0.
Yeah. OG Union Station.
This is the beta anyway. It burned
Yeah.
down in like 1910.
Okay, the 2.0, whatever. we're
It's
up
like
to,
3, 4, 5.0. Yeah, it's up there.
I love Union Station.
I do too.
Thanks, Mike. It's good to get to know you.
Yeah, thanks
and
for having me.
a fellow chair.
Look at that.
There is a community of chairs.
All these chairs around.
This is like the chair round table right here. Which just kind of feels weird. Camille, how much time in your head, if you got to split it up,
Okay.
do you put towards Onstage Ogden, personal creative endeavors, and Ogden City Arts?
If I had to split it up, I spend a lot of time thinking about everything, but I would say I spend my weekdays thinking about Onstage Ogden. That's my day job. I am the marketing and box office manager there, and then all the other time I spend thinking about everything else. So what I do on committees, what we do at a Good Company Theater, which is kind of just like the background. It's like a white noise machine in my life. It's always there. It's just kind of softly speaking to me and lulling me. Yeah, I'd say it's hard to break up. I'd say I'm overthinking all day.
Do you time box? Like, how do you manage all? You know what I mean? Like, because there's a bunch of different, all that stuff going on. Do you set time aside?
Yeah, how do you do that?
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
I'm still figuring that out.
Say it.
No,
Say it.
You gotta
What are your
figure it out.
tips?
No, I am just panicking. It's like panic thoughts. They shoot into my brain, and I'm like, I have to deal with this. No, just joking. I'm not very organized. I'm not like a very rigid scheduler, so I'm not thinking like, okay, on weekends from noon to 4, I am doing playwriting, or during the week after I get off of work from 7 to 10, I'm doing Good Company Theater stuff. It's just kind of always present.
Do you think you would be more effective if you time blocked? Or do you need to be creative and so you just work on whatever's the most pressing
I'm
in your mind?
sure I'd be more efficient if I time blocked and had more of a rigid schedule.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I would be more effective. I think like at this point, I'm at a really good peace with how my brain works and what my output level. So
I think you and I have always appreciated your schedule and your ability to juggle all the things, because I have a tendency to do the same thing. And I think that my answer is not a rigid schedule. I think that's the reason why I ended up fully in the arts, is because I don't like the rigid schedules. I'll still put in too many hours each week for sure.
Yeah.
But it's a little bit more on my terms. And I think a lot of it, I guess it comes, and I hate the phrase kind of that lifestyle job, but it really kind of is a lifestyle job where so many of these different activities, they do fold into the other ones.
they do.
And so I don't know how I would be able to do, for instance, Banyan Collective for the past 14 years if it didn't somehow fold into
Right.
all the other things that I did at Weber, and now I do with the Arts Council, mixed with the Ogden City Arts that we're involved with. If it was fully separate activities, like I'm not entirely sure how I would have survived.
Yeah, I don't think I could do that. And it's been a really nice, I feel really privileged to work in the arts and have a life that is kind of centered around what I would call arts administration.
Plus, you make a lot of money in the arts.
Yeah, you just like
Go
it's
Arts
just
Ed
hand
Man.
over fist. I just have it's just bands all day long. Bands. Just getting stacks
Bad stacks
Only
of bands.
stacks.
Oh my god.
in the arts.
Oh,
So you know,
so bad. I don't even know what that means.
bands.
bands around your money.
Yeah, just bands.
Bands around
Stacks
your-
are like
oh.
$1,000.
Yeah, yeah.
bills.
Yeah.
I've literally never needed a band.
We got to catch. We got to catch
I don't know.
Todd up on the
I've
phone.
I've never witnessed a band in person.
Oh,
My
I needed
digital
50 cents for
coins
one of
don't
those
do
little
that.
sticker machines the other day. Didn't have it. There was no
Nobody
bands
has
for the
50
bands.
cents.
Oh.
No one
Nobody has change out of these
Change.
things.
It's all virtual.
It's like, does it
now.
take my card and I don't have to swipe it? And then
Did you know bands? You know
Yes.
that?
yes, but I'm also
Trying to stay young.
I'm so hip, Todd.
That's
Like,
it. That's the word I was going for.
And if you say I'm so hip, that should be a clue.
But I think that's a good transition into talking about arts administration, which is
Yeah.
something I can definitely talk about. So when did you know it was going to be arts administration? Because it was kind of a slow And then I knew. It was kind of, I was doing it for a very long time. It went from personal to advocating and helping other artists was a priority. That like became my priority. And then I kind of knew.
And you started because you are an artist, right?
Yes.
You kind of like transitioned from that. I would say I never was an artist. I was always kind of writing and researching.
Fair.
Like I studied art history and I was kind of always like a library nerd. And so I always kind of felt more on that side of things anyway. Like,
did you have the
looking
glasses?
as
Did you have the library
I definitely,
glasses?
I just ordered some new glasses. Literally just ordered some new glasses today. Yes, they're very thick.
Perfect.
And they're very, very nerdy. That's the only way you can wear them.
Do they have the sharp edges? Like,
These ones don't. They're a little rounder
okay.
than I normally get, which is like very studious.
Well, let's just say in my librarian fantasy, they're going to have the little things.
And they
That's
have
all
like the clip.
Oh, 100%.
thing.
Yeah.
The chain.
The cord. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
It's the Ghostbusters secretary. Right?
That's not the fantasy I was talking about.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
that's not it.
No,
Okay.
she's gold though, for sure. Just like mildly like annoyed by all her coworkers.
God, I love her. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
Oh, that's fantastic. But you went to school for it, didn't you?
Yeah, I studied art history
Yeah.
at the University of Utah, and then I got my master's at the San Francisco Art Institute in exhibition and museum studies. So that's when I kind of really was like, all right, visual arts administration is what I was.
So, like, if you wanted to take Todd's job, you could, like, tomorrow just take
I'll fight you for it, but
No.
it definitely more educated specifically for
that.
what I do. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, that's where I kind of, that was like shaping my ideas of like how I could be an arts administrator. And then I came back to Utah, and my sister Alicia had been for years kind of talking about starting a theater. And I had the time and the space. And I said, well, hey, I've been spending a decade of my life or whatever, less than a decade, trying to do arts administration, arts grant writing, just supporting artists and artist visions and presenting artwork. I was like, let me use my skills to help build this thing. And so 11 years ago, we started Good Company Theater. And then it's actually just over 4 years ago, I got a job at Onstage Ogden doing marketing and box office management. And I started there before it became Onstage Ogden. It was called Ogden Symphony Ballet Association. And so really I was interested in not only just the performing arts, because it was part of what I do now, which is with Good Company Theater, but also just the change of like a legacy organization. They were rebranding. I was a part of the rebranding process, helped come up with the name and the new identity. And that kind of interested me in continuing this kind of administrative work.
I'm interested because, and I've saw multiple posts from Alicia over the years complimenting you on your business savvy and just how
She may not tell you in person, but she said it
but she
online.
put it on Facebook. So I mean,
As
that
long
counts.
as
We're-
Facebook
makes-
knows. As long
Hey, got her a couple of likes.
Meta is in
I
it.
got a couple likes.
We all have a reason for being nice to our partners.
Yeah, He may-
I've said a few nice things to Brandon through the years.
yeah, he really is. And
Just a couple.
I take
just
it in
sprinkle
stride.
them in every year or so.
yeah.
Keep them.
So I'm wondering if you watch over the years the talent, right?
Mm-hmm.
And behind the scenes, are you ever like thankful, like, oh, thank God that's not me, or
Yes.
are you ever jealous, like, oh
No.
okay, Again, no.
So like I said, I had
Think about that for a second.
No, I'm not I'm not a
no.
performer. I'm not like when we first started Good Company Theater specifically, it was always about like Alicia has the performance background and is on stage and I'm backstage.
Mm-hmm.
I am just like, I will do what it takes. I will help paint the walls. I will help write the grants. I will do that stuff. And so, no, I've never been jealous or like yearning for that, because when I got into performing arts proper, it was all about the support roles, the administrative roles. So yeah, at my job at Onstage Ogden and at Good Company Theater, I have no.
So is Alicia jealous of you because of your grant writing skills?
I'm gonna say yes. She's jealous of my whole life. I'm the better sister, and that's just no. I'm just joking. No, I think we've been doing it. We've worked together for so long on like arts related projects that we just complement each other really well. And it's really fun to watch her gain these skills and this knowledge that she didn't think she had, or like really formalize it when we first started this, because when you create a business or an arts nonprofit out of nothing, it just feels like I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. And to watch her understand that she does know what she's doing and be empowered in her skills and her talents is really fun.
You just recently posted, or Alicia, I mean, you meaning Good Company, posted that you've moved on from seasons. Is this correct? Okay.
Yeah,
talk
we're
about
done. So the pandemic really hurt the performing arts industry, and a lot of after the initial wave of closures of like mid-sized theaters and performing arts organizations, there's been a real reconsideration of.
Is alarms going off? Okay, sorry.
That's okay. There's just been a reconsideration of what it means to do this work, to present plays and musicals, or to present concerts. And so for us, initially we started and we did an annual year calendar. So we would run our shows from January to December. But then because of the way arts funding works, we went to a performing arts calendar, which goes from August, September, fall to spring. So around May, June. And it's always been kind of like us trying to navigate these existing structures. Like, okay, how can we do what we want to do in the way that is the most aligned with this thing? But the pandemic changed all of that. So we decided. You were
trying to originally schedule around funding, essentially.
Originally, we just thought we'll do a straight 12-month calendar year from January to December, which almost killed us because you never got a break. And then the performing arts calendar from the fall to the spring also was just not tenable for us, because it just felt like it was too rigid, and it didn't allow us the flexibility to take on projects maybe that came up when we wanted to do them, or like it always felt like you were like long-term planning versus like responding to what was going on. And I think the pandemic really taught us that too. We did a couple of distanced shows that really were just responsive to the times and to the circumstance. And so that we found really inspiring. And so we thought, we'll just change it up.
So how do you go about funding now?
We still apply for general operating support, and we know that we'll do a certain number of shows per season, so we can ask for those shows. If the funders ask for more detail about those shows, we give them an idea of what we're going to do, but it's never like a finalized.
Do the two of you act it out?
It's Pictionary. And we show up.
They're visual people.
At night to the George S. and Dolores Story Elkels Foundation headquarters. And we just act it out for them and make them guess.
Todd, why didn't you tell me that's what we should be doing this whole time?
That's how you get the big money.
They got their checkbook behind the desk.
That's where the snacks are.
Just like, I'm going to fill this out after the fact.
Yeah, they're like, sold. Don't even continue. You need all the money. Get all the money you need.
Okay, Mike, pro tip. Act it out. Oh, very interesting. Okay. So what's on the agenda for Good Company this season?
TBD.
You can't say season, though.
This
year.
Upcoming at Good Company Theater. TBD.
Yeah, upcoming.
Which is how it is. We're definitely planning on like a winter spring show.
Okay, so this is the worst question ever. I'm so excited to ask this question.
Great.
Because all podcasters know each other, so all theater people know each other, right? I live in the Terrace. Terrace Plaza Playhouse.
Yeah.
They've been there a long time.
Forever.
Long time.
Yeah.
And I've never been to a show.
Oh.
I've been to your shows. Never been to their shows. And they're like, I could walk over and go to a show. But I don't see them advertised anywhere. I don't see them embedded into the community anywhere. But they must be doing well. Like, what do you know about what they do?
Well, I do know Alicia was in a couple of shows when she was in high school at Terrace. That's where she first started outside of school.
Pre-fame.
Yeah, pre-fame.
Yeah.
She did a couple of productions there. They are just so embedded. They're actually embedded in the community, meaning they have long-standing
Gotcha.
relationship with.
Okay.
Like they.
I figured
are
they
there.
must have some sort of clientele that just because whenever I always know when there's a show because the parking lot is packed.
Yeah.
But I don't ever see them advertise or
No,
anything.
they do advertising that works for them. I think.
They have a billboard on.
They have that lighted billboard, which is so cool. Yeah, they just have been around long enough, and they do shows with enough people in them, like big cast musicals. That helps spread the word. That always helps spread the word.
Yeah.
Whereas like we do like 2-3 person shows, and that's just a heavier lift in terms of word of mouth. But yeah, I think what they do is important, and they've been there for decades.
And they do. I mean, shows that you would probably consider mainstream shows.
Yeah.
Where you guys focus more on is alternative the right word?
Yeah, contemporary.
Contemporary. Okay.
And then also just we don't only do musicals. A lot of theaters locally only do musicals. We do plays as well.
Yeah.
Which is
important.
hard to, it's not easy to find outside of like university settings, especially
One
north
acts?
of Salt Lake.
What do you-
1X,
One act?
yeah, full length plays, 1 acts, yeah.
Okay. I used to think I wanted to do that, and it's really hard.
It's tough.
You have to memorize so many lines.
I don't know how they do it. I don't. It was always a shock to me when Alicia would say kind of the circumstances that they had to be in, and then to be able to perform
Yeah.
in that.
Brandon, I would love to see you try out for a Good Company play.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
I think I will, as long as I don't have to sing. Actually, no.
Only thing we have for you.
It's
Only thing is lead.
okay.
It's their favorite thing is to
Sing.
to sign on non-singers to
Yes.
their musicals.
With
Yeah.
unheard, unseen.
Yeah. Oh my God.
One man show.
I auditioned in front of Jason, famous super.
Name dropping Jason.
Yep,
here.
Jason. You like him? He's funny.
I'm
Oh shit.
so close. It's tip of my tongue.
Sudeikis.
Dodgeball.
Dodgeball. Oh.
Sudeikis?
No, not Sudeikis.
Oh, he wasn't in Dodgeball.
No, he was the commentator in Dodgeball.
Jason Bateman.
Bateman.
Oh,
Bateman.
Yeah.
Auditioned in front of Jason Bateman.
He was super high and on a lot of drugs when you did that.
Yeah, because it was like 93 or something.
He was
94.
100% on all the drugs
Yeah.
when you did that.
And guess what? Guess my act was a scene from. I was Bill Murray, and it was a scene from it's like the one step at a time. What's the movie when?
What about
What about Bob?
Bob?
What about Bob?
You
And he
did a
gets
scene
yelled
from
at.
What About Bob?
I did a scene from What About Bob. It was a very long monologue.
how'd it work? Did you get it?
So no. So what happened was
Oh, I just spoiled the story.
this. You did. You well, there is more to the story.
Sorry, yeah.
So that I auditioned, and then I went on a trip to Alaska.
Okay.
And at the time, cell phones were new, and most it was like it was like 93, 94, somewhere around then. And when I got back, there was a message he left a message. He left a message on my phone, and it was like, "Hey,
Jason Bateman did.
Jason Bateman did, yeah, and we got a call back for you. We'd like you to be here, blah blah blah, on this day." Well, that day had passed, and I never got the message because it was weird back then, and so the day had passed. It'd been like a week, and I never called. I never did anything. I just let it go.
That was the moment.
That was it. I missed it.
Wow.
That could have been the turning point.
Super famous, and I missed it.
Do you remember what it was for?
No, because I thought it was
Like
weird
a
that
TV special of some sort, right?
it was a big stage. Do you guys, there's a stage in somewhere. There was a stage like an amphitheater somewhere. It might have been the high school in Park City. It was weird.
Huh.
I don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
93.
93, 93, 94.
And Jason Bateman was somehow involved.
Oh, he was in the audience. He was the casting director.
Did he live out here for a little while?
I don't know. That's a good question.
He
Were
may
they
have.
filming out
Or maybe
here?
he
What
was
were they
in
doing?
rehab for a while.
Maybe.
I
Sounds
love
like
Jason
it.
Bateman, but he was on a lot of drugs. Yeah.
He's so good now. He's in so much stuff now.
Oh,
Yeah.
he turned
He has a
himself around.
podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good
yeah, he
podcast.
does. I mean, they get a few more listeners than we do.
Just stop it. They don't talk about these stories. though.
Enough about me. Camille, talk to me about Onstage Ogden.
Yeah. What do you want to know?
Upcoming season.
So actually, this Friday and Saturday we have concerts. This Friday we have Puddle's Pity Party, the saddest clown.
Yeah, I
in
heard
all the
that's doing
town.
well.
Oh yeah,
It scares the
better
hell out of me.
Yeah, don't be scared. He's
No?
just,
Okay.
He's just sad, and he has the
sad.
most beautiful voice you would ever expect.
Oh, Puddle.
And he does like the best clown makeup, in my opinion. My favorite clown makeup, which is like that traditional,
Oh, yeah.
like European
Yeah.
white face with the little hat.
Mm-hmm.
And he is going to perform this Friday at Peary's Egyptian Theater. There aren't many tickets left, but you can still
Okay.
get tickets. And then we're also doing Cirque Mechanics, which is a Vegas-based circus troupe. They're doing a show called Zephyr, which is about, they write new stories for every tour that they do, and this one is about the struggle of man and nature, between man and nature, and like the use of wind. There's a big windmill.
And I saw
as a
a
resource.
very flexible woman in a pose.
Yes.
As part of the marketing or something.
Yeah, there are lots of contortionists.
Contortionists. Okay.
And hoop jumpers, and there's a woman who spins by her hair, which seems really
I used to do that
intense.
too, Todd.
Until I cut my hair,
I don't
that
need to
was
hear
my
about
weekend
that.
gig.
That is your business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we're always presenting the Utah Symphony. So next month we have Beethoven's Ninth in November, which is Ode to Joy. It culminates in Ode to Joy, and they're having the Utah Symphony's bringing up their chorus. It's like a one act. There's no intermission. They're only doing Beethoven's Ninth Symphony, and then right after that, the week after, we're presenting Audra McDonald with Utah Symphony, which full circle. Audra McDonald is arguably the voice of her generation for Broadway. She's been on television, but she got her start on Broadway. She has something like 1 million Tony Awards, and she's an incredible
1 million.
1 million.
Yep.
Exactly on the dot. Just last year, she got the millions.
About time.
And yeah, about time we saw it happen.
Well deserved.
Well deserved. But she's coming. She actually, her husband lives or is from Provo, was associated with Hale Center Theater in some way. So she does spend time in Utah, but she is coming to Ogden. She was here in 2018, but she's coming back to sing with the Utah Symphony. And it'll be American standards and Broadway standards that she performs with them. And then we head straight into the holidays. We do the Ballet West Nutcracker. We bring it to Ogden every year.
My daughter will not be in it this year, in case you were wondering.
Oh, why?
She's a cheerleader this year.
Time.
So
yeah.
time and this year because Ballet West is performing in DC,
Yeah.
which is very
Kennedy
cool.
Center. Yep.
The commitment level was much higher, so I think I think they're practicing 5 days a week down in Salt Lake, and to drive from Ogden to Salt Lake, and I think had a heads up on that before she auditioned, and she wanted to audition to see if she would make it and then turn it down. I'm like, you can't do that.
That's true diva status. Right there.
Total, yeah, because
Do
she's
all the
like, I just
work.
want to see if I was gonna make it, you know. I'm like, no, we're not.
Plus, she could have performed in DC.
Well,
but that's Thanksgiving
yes.
weekend. That's usually the weekend that we do the Nutcracker in Ogden. But
Yeah.
they're going to the Kennedy Center, so we're a week later.
I was on board. I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, like how many times
Do
can
it.
you perform at the Kennedy Center? Like this is all, like this
Yeah.
is crazy, right?
No
And
more
you-
than a handful of times.
No more than a
person's
handful of
life.
times.
Yeah.
and it's just too much this year. So,
Mm.
but she was in it 3 times, I think, and lucky enough to be in Ogden, which was nice. So thank you, Onstage Ogden, for bringing Ballet West to Ogden because we don't have to drive to Salt Lake to watch my daughter, which was fun. But the Salt Lake venue is nice, but it's Ogden. Was
yeah,
great.
I mean,
Yeah.
you got to stay
Gotta
in
stay.
town.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we have a full winter spring calendar too.
OnstageOgden.org.
Yep, .org.
Okay.
Yep. You can buy all tickets for all concerts right now.
What's your goal in life, Camille?
That's a little question.
Yeah, jeez.
To
Like you're lucky.
to
You didn't get
rule
this
with
one.
an iron fist. No, I'm just joking. I don't know what.
Like big picture.
Big picture.
You're happy now doing
I
multiple
really
things.
hope that we can continue to grow Good Company Theater. We are, we're a small theater. We seat 70. But before that, we only seated 50. And so maybe one day we'll seat 100, and that would be okay with me. Maybe we can get to 100 one day. And then just to continue to have like a life filled with art and supporting artists and being active in just the creative communities.
Were your parents in the art? Like, what drove you to the arts?
Yeah, we just talked about that. Alicia and I just were talking about this. Our
Oh,
parents.
never mind then.
No, yeah, so we're not going to talk about it. I only talk about things one time, and that's it. That's how I keep my mind straight.
To repeat those stories.
No, our parents were both just kind of working middle class people. Our mom worked in medical offices until she retired, and our dad worked for as a contractor for Hill Air Force Base before he retired. But then they're
Totally
But
artistic.
did they both sing in the shower?
Yes, that's what. Yes,
That's it right there.
and so do I, and so it continues. It's our generational talent, singing in the shower. No, so then, but in their personal lives, they had the arts. They were very expressive. My dad published a book of poetry in the 70s, a poet and very involved in music. Our mom is kind of an incredible artist. She is a ceramicist. We come from a long line of just like applied crafts people. So lots of quilting, lots of just women's crafts, so to speak, but really talented painting, all of that. Our uncles used to bend neon. Our cousins in Louisiana
Wow, that's something you don't see every day.
Yeah, like or blow neon, I think is what the actual term. But yeah, we just come from people who always had that side of themselves. I think we're just part of a generation able to integrate it more fully into like a professional life.
And you're deep thinkers and you're involved in the community.
Yes, my thoughts are so deep. Oh my God. They are the deepest thoughts one can have.
I just wish you would let it out every once in a while.
I think it's getting deep in here.
Yeah, it's too deep. It's too philosophical. It's too much.
Oh, she's like,
Anyway.
I need a drink.
I need a drink. Yeah, but no. So our parents kind of always had a balance of it, but never. Again, like I said, I think we just have been able to maybe be more productive in like a professional money making sense
Yeah.
with it, but it's always been a part of.
So you're not looking at franchising the theater across the world.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
Do people do that? Is that a thing? Could you even do that?
You could.
Yeah.
Yeah. At some point, all the cinemas were like one guy running a cinema,
Yeah.
and then they became AMC or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, so
Interesting.
maybe.
And then, Todd, did you have anything real quick?
No, I can't top that. That was perfect.
That was great. My only thing was
You're going to wrap things up with one of those general, what do you want to do with your life?
yeah. So
Didn't I? You already asked me that.
You
Yeah.
already went there. So this next one then is bringing it back to the Ogden City Arts Advisory Board, which you are the chair, and yeah, just I like that you're the chair.
Thanks.
Yeah, you have good questions. And so what is your what's your agenda maybe or what do you hope to see the committee do while you're the chair?
I hope really that there is more of a real consideration of what the Nine Rails Arts District is in its relationship to the East Central community that it sits in, and like the overlapping interests that are kind of all pointing in this direction. Like we're in the Monarch, it's in the Nine Rails District, also in the East Central neighborhood. So how can the arts be more integrated into other social service organizations and outreach that's going on right now in this area? I think that would be really great to see happen.
100%.
Great goal.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how to get there.
You have our support.
but-
Well, we got to keep the momentum going.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's all
Yep.
about momentum.
Okay, Todd, thanks for all the information, Camille. Anything else you want to add or anything?
Do we miss
Did
any
we miss
events
it?
coming up?
Yeah.
or-
No.
No.
No, I think we covered that.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Onstage puts together so much stuff.
I know.
Yeah,
we
they
have
really do.
How much
long-
research do you do? This is a question I had earlier about the upcoming productions, events. Like, how much are you familiar with? How early on? You seem to
Yeah.
be pretty savvy about what comes through.
Yeah. Well,
That's my job.
yeah. Well,
No, it is your job, but that's still
this
a
is
lot.
how I make the millions,
Yeah.
the millions and millions of dollars that pour
The
into
bands.
my bank account.
All the
Just bands that are just like have like the dollar bill guns that are just shooting everywhere. No.
Told you, Todd. I tried to.
No, for example, we've been starting just collectively as a group at Onstage Ogden. We've been talking about or heard from James, who's the executive director, about his ideas for the 24-25 season and even into like 25-26, maybe some potential things. So these long range calendars, you just kind of always are aware of.
I tried to
things
get
that are
James
coming.
on, and I said
Yeah.
that you were coming on.
Yeah.
He said you're better.
Oh, that's wrong.
And I said sure, but we
That's
still
not
need to
right.
talk about a bear apparently because we never did.
I've never asked him about.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I know.
And then
about
I just saw a story
Tease.
that this 60-something-year-old was attacked by a grizzly, and they deformed the face, and then they had to use part of his leg bone to put a chin back in him and stuff. And he's like, this next round, I'm going to win the next round because he had a good sense of humor.
That's a good life.
That's a good
You
life.
gotta have the humor about something like
You
that.
do
I
gotta have
cannot
humor.
imagine.
Camille, can people like hire you to be a consultant for the arts?
Yeah, that's again all the money, right? No, I'm just joking.
Seriously, do you do that?
No,
at all?
I don't know. We talk.
Have you thought
Alicia and
about
I
it?
talk about
Yeah.
like what could be a future, but no.
Washington and Washington Consulting.
Yes, that sounds like an accountant.
Sorry. We'll work on the name.
What name?
We'll work on the name.
We're
a little bit.
workshopping
Yeah.
the name.
We're
But, no, like,
But
I
you-
want in on that. We need a Washington, and sometimes Oberndorfer.
yes, oh, that's
Consulting.
better. Now we're a law firm.
Yeah.
You add the third name and you become a law firm.
Washington and Oberndorfer. It takes you a half an hour to say the
And then
name.
we're
Yeah, that's
only
great.
fighting about what order the Washingtons. That's the whole point of the business.
But if we did WOW, we got our
Oh,
acronym right there.
Wow. Wow.
We did it. It's done.
Wow.
We did
Okay. Wow Consulting Services. Available soon.
Available now.
Now.
Wow.
Now. Wow.
Wow now.
They will wow you with their services.
No, we did it.
Oh, we could have gone out without that. But we're gonna get calls though.
Good.
We're gonna get calls.
No, you are. You are. We will wow you with the amount of money we bring
Yeah,
in. I mean,
just
all the things.
put it in your Google and
yeah.
search it.
Oh, Mike's writing it down right now. He's
Yeah.
like, what?
He's like, I don't know what
Figure
I'm.
this
Like these guys are ridiculous.
I think my group could use a little wow right now.
I wanted to ask
Could
Mike,
your group
what type
use
of
some wow?
engineer are you?
I'm mechanical.
Okay. Okay. Do you-
I don't know what that means.
How did you get
Yeah,
into
what does-
mechanical engineering?
I just went to school. I was like, I don't know what to pick, and I was like, my dad's like, man, you like taking apart stuff. Why don't you go to school for engineering? So I was like, all right.
It was like perfect
I was like,
engineering.
it just worked
thought.
out. Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you do? Like, where do you work?
So I actually work in Northrop and Clearfield.
Okay.
So I'm mechanical by trade,
Mm-hmm.
and then I work in aerospace by field. But
Nice.
just
Yeah.
how I came here. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and you said you're from Reno.
Yeah,
Right.
so I grew up in Reno, and I went to grad school at the U, and then ended up at a job at ATK at the time,
Mm-hmm.
then Orbital ATK, now Northrop, and who knows where it goes from here, but through its life cycle, and so here I am.
Cool. Yeah. I have not the mind for that work. So I tip my hat.
Does
Well,
an
I appreciate
engineering mind
the-
though need that little bit of like breakout on the trails? Is there something that balances you out?
Yeah, we were talking about this before the show, like going to work is like very technical and analytical and thinking about a specific problem, and then you kind of go out on the trails and release all of that, right? And think about nature, but you still keep that analytical piece of like, how do I maintain this trail? How to make it better? Is this as good as it could be, right? So you maintain that analytical piece, but you free think a lot more about how you can improve something.
I love that. And it's right in the backyard.
That's right, exactly.
Do you miss gambling on demand? No, I don't know. That's all I know about Reno. What's something else about Reno? Is it close
Besides
to like
Reno
outdoors?
911.
Yeah, instead of Reno 911.
Oh, that was actually filmed in Vegas, most of it, but
That's a
Dang.
shame.
it is, yeah. Just the Reno 9 was a catchy name, so I stuck with it, but
Ugh.
not a lot of that footage was actually filmed there. But yeah, when you grow up with that kind of culture, like you don't necessarily miss gambling
Yeah.
and stuff, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the biggest thing for us is coming here and like, what are all these liquor laws? Like, what do you mean you have to go to a liquor store and like you can't buy full beer at the gas station?
Yeah.
Like, when is this?
Wait, so how long have you been here?
Almost 10 years.
Okay.
So
long
we've definitely been
enough.
accustomed to it, but when we go
Yeah.
home, like first stop was like Total Wine and More in Costco.
Or just like the gas station.
Yeah, we're just a gas station, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I've lived other places. It's always a shock. When
Hey,
you
but
sit
there's
and
a
think
little
about
bit of hope, though. We get the Olympics. I know it's a little ways off, but remember we got rid of private clubs because of the Olympics.
it. Uh-huh.
We want the world to see us as not as we are. And so there's a good chance in 2030, 2034, what do we want? What do we want people to see us as? Yeah. Maybe we'll loosen those laws a little more.
My gosh, yes. Hopefully. Just relax a little.
Let me just relax a little.
Just a
That's all
little
I'm looking
bit.
for.
Camille, this is what the show's supposed to be, is when the guests start talking to each other.
Oh.
This is great.
Good. I feel like I talked a lot. So
And
Not
Powerball. I'd be fine adding that.
And
to the top.
Powerball.
Powerball,
Powerball,
yeah. Yeah, but
We
you know,
really-
you
so
work
much
in the
money.
arts, so you have a lot of money.
Yes.
We've established
This is for the
way.
plebes
So
who do
much
not
to
work
give.
in the
This
arts.
is the ultimate
much to give.
capitalist hack. Get a job in the arts.
Capitalist hack my ass. Todd, what do you got to take us out?
So Salt Lake City Gallery Stroll is Friday night. And if you guys remember, in Ogden it's first Friday, and Salt Lake it's a third Friday. Every now and again I'll have an opening that interferes where it crosses over, but for the most part that's what we do. But right now we have an amazing show at the Finch Lane Gallery, 54 Finch Lane in Salt Lake City. It is Trent and his father Clint Call, two very well-known artists, are in our East Gallery, and a woman named Elise Anderson is in the West Gallery. Very, very good, and it's been very well attended so far. So come check us out, 6 to 9 on Friday night. And then we are currently still doing an open call for our Flash Projects, which is sort of a pop-up shows that we do a couple times a year. Look up saltlakearts.org. Hope I got that right for more information.
Good job.
Anyway, that goes through the end of October.
Yeah. Okay.
What do you got? Bear story? Did you already tease You already teased out the bear
I already
story.
talked about everything because the shindig's coming on Friday, and so Michael will be there. I will be there. What's the dress attire, Michael? What do I need?
Oh,
to
I
wear?
was going to ask the same thing. So we don't wear the same thing.
Right.
Oh
right,
yeah.
Right.
For you, it's a black and white attire. For everybody else, super casual.
Full tails.
So I'm full tails.
Yeah, full tails.
Okay, I'll see what I can come up with.
All right.
You go more like pink and what colors?
I can do
You got-
pink.
Yeah,
I can
you
do
got a
pink.
nice
I
pink.
got a pink sport coat.
Oh,
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah. But
Mm-hmm.
for the Mayor's Awards, it won't be here in time for Friday. I ordered a special jacket for the Mayor's Awards today.
Are you teasing that?
I am teasing
What?
that.
What's the
Do you want to know the name of the jacket?
the fact that it has a name is good. I
Yes.
guess.
Yeah. I remember it.
Not just a jacket.
Goldie Dots.
Goldie dots.
Oh,
Goldie Dots.
what time of the night did you purchase that on Amazon?
Well, I had to have my wife purchase it because
Fair.
it's bought through a place where she has connections, and so I'm like, hey, I need this.
Ooh.
I need this,
Goldie Dots.
and I need it by the Mayor's Awards, which is. She's like, okay, well, what size? So that's the biggest. I don't know because all these jackets come in different sizes, so it might be like
Yeah, we'll see.
fat guy in a little coat situation, or it might be like drowning me. I'm not sure.
Like David Byrne coat.
Yes.
yeah,
Which
yeah.
only if you perform David Byrne choreography while you
Mm.
are announcing.
Unfamiliar,
Giant suit coat.
but I should get familiar. So yes, Goldie
You have time.
Dots.
Goldie
Goldie.
Dots.
Goldie Dots. Use your imagination. It was between that and that. So that's what we ended up with.
You really narrowed it down.
But for Friday, Mike, I think I can only do like this t-shirt.
It'll be your nicest
My nicest t-shirt.
t-shirt. Yeah.
Thank you, Banyan One, for powering today's episode of the Ogden Arts and Adventure Show. Thank you so much to our guests, Camille Washington of Ogden City Arts Advisory Board and Onstage Ogden, along with Michael Goodrick, president. I don't know why they said president.
I don't know. We call it chairs. I don't
Chair.
know where president came from.
chair, because that means you're sitting a lot on the trails. Ogden Trails Network, which is awesome. Listen and subscribe to Ogden Arts and Adventure on YouTube. Look for us on Facebook, Instagram, and Apple Podcast, Spotify, and thebanyancollective.com. If you want to be on the show, you can reach out to us and we'll decide at Ogden Adventure on Instagram.
I like the will decide. Well, but reach out. Yeah.
Reach out. We'll see what happens. This week's outdoor jukebox is Dust to Settle. Alicia Stockman Band on Van Sessions at
How good was
Monarch.
that?
Effing fantastic. Yeah, they were
I'm telling you
fantastic.
what, people, check out this Van Sessions thing. I think it's starting to get some traction.
I think you're right, Todd. And maybe, just maybe, in about 5 years from now, we'll make money on YouTube from this stuff. In the meantime, go to Van Sessions on YouTube and subscribe, please. This is Dust to Settle, Alicia Stockman Band. We'll see you on the next Arts and Adventure Show.
Driving hard for 7 days, few more miles of interstate to truth or consequences. Horizon playing tricks on me. Is it clear or do I see something stirring in the distance? It's been behind me since I left. Oh, now it's dead ahead. It's hard to tell when a storm's brewing how long it'll last, which way it's moving. You fight the urge to slam it down to the floor meets the pedal. There's nothing wrong with waiting for the dust to settle. Sky turns to rust, swallowed by a cloud of dust, reluctant to pull over. I knew when I got off I-10, the desert might have other plans. Now I'm shackled to the shoulder. I was found, but now I'm lost. Oh, I guess I'll stay here till I'm not. It's hard to tell when a storm's brewing how long it'll last, which way it's moving. You fight the urge to slam it down on the floor meets the pedal. There's nothing wrong with waiting for the dust to settle. Friend, the weather turns at every bend. I could have just stayed home, waited out to see it through. Oh, nothing left to prove. It's hard to tell when the storm's brewing how long it'll last, which way it's moving. Fight the urge to slam
Nice.
Thank you.